Hello guys, and welcome to a different video today. I'm actually running around in my Space Engineers world, as you can probably tell. Now, I'm on what's known as the Easy Start 1 world, where you basically just get the asteroid and said platform here with 3 fighters. Now, you may say, you can see the blue ship up there, but you might be wondering what this blue ship is. Now, the people who know something about Space Engineers will know that this ship started life as the red ship from the Easy Start world. And yes, it is. It is a version of the ship I created. Basically, what I did, the ship's bridge, this part here, is actually completely sealed up. It was a solid bit of armor. These obviously engine pods are the same. Go through to a slightly different interior because I've remodeled the interior. Still got the hangar that runs along here. This platform actually stopped about here, so I've extended it by quite a bit. The original ship stopped right here, and I've extended it by a good fair amount, putting modded guns on it. These are actually 50mm quads turrets, so they're pretty cool. I have sort of armoured some thrusters up here a little bit. I've got some, if I go to the front here, the colour scheme at the moment is a little bit temporary, but I've got quite a lot of large forward-facing batteries on this ship. I've got loads of armament on the side. I've got some more modded turrets down here. These are called broadside cannons. So these actually connect into the conveyor system, and then I've got some more sticking out of some armoured areas closer to the main engine cells on the side. I'm using some armoured thrusters right here to sort of stay in the theme of the armour on that side, the sloped armour. I've got the same on the other side. There you go. Once again, more broadside cannons on both sides. We've got some Gatling turrets on the exposed cargo containers, sort of giving them a little bit of protection. If I just turn on my light for you. There you go. So you've got 2 exposed cargo containers. I would have put it on the conveyor there, but they can pull them out of the cargo containers anyway if there's any ammunition left in there. So we'll just hop up to the engine area. I've left this little bit in here, because if a missile were to hit this rather than the engine, it wouldn't actually do any damage to the engine. It's obviously got the connector systems and dropper systems already still on board. I've got 2 large cannons on the rear engine pods or nacelles. I've got this area here where the jump drives used to be. I'll go show you where the jump drives used to be. They used to be on the red ship attached to here. As you can see, I'm actually not quite done apparently painting it. So the jump drives used to be there and here. So I've taken them away and put some extra turrets down. All this is actually within the ship's armor and cabin space, actually. Obviously, I will probably replace these thrusters on the side, but I've got the antenna at the top of the ship's name coming down sort of as ribbing, because there is actually a staircase that comes down from the new bridge, which I've put right here. So there's the bridge. It's a very lightly armored ship. It's more cruiser slash frigate, so it's got the speed and armament with it, but it's not heavily armoured, so it's not designed to slug it out with bigger warships in this. So I'll quickly just hop inside for you. I'll start at the back. It currently just uses quite a lot of the similar design aspects of the red ship. So as you can see, this is the same entrance bay that the red ship has. Let's go through these doors. It's still very similar until you get to about this point, and then I've changed up the interior, as you can see. There is a part that loops all the way around. Now this goes up to the bridge, so I'll quickly do that for you, seeing as I'm right here. It comes up at this point, which is more of the observation deck. You can look out these windows, look at the engine pods back there, and back on the tail of the ship. Obviously, you've got your interior turret to keep the command deck safe. You've got your oxygen vent here that brings oxygen through the conveyor system out of the oxygen generators, which are actually located in the front of the ship. So we walk through this door. We also have Colt's command console pack. Now you can sit at most of these chairs. Just there you go. They haven't actually been set up with anything at the moment. Most of these are going to be for navigation or controlling the turrets, but most of them are going to be on automatic. This is the captain's seat, so he gets a nice view over the entire ship. Obviously you can see the weapons systems on board. I go to 2 and we've got a couple of jump drives installed. I'm still working on the weapon systems on this ship, because I saw a pretty interesting script on the workshop for this game that I'm actually working on installing on the Mjolnir, which is the name of this ship. I'm not. You might be able to guess where that is actually from. If not, then I'll be surprised. This is the hangar bay. It's a very small hangar bay. It's not designed to carry my main fighter, which is the Obelisk Mark 5. I think I'm on now. Bring up the F10 menu, quick. You can see I've got, this will be the Mjolnir right here. So these are my fighters normally. It's the Obelisk is what they're called. It's just a small, fast, lightweight fighter, which was actually designed by one of my friends. So I've decided to keep that effectively going. So over here we just have a look out over the hangar. So you have left, right hangar bays and forward hangar bays, once again all conveyored up and survival ready. These are just the batteries, which I'm not sure why they don't actually work at the moment. Oh, they're off, that's why. I'll set them to recharge. So these batteries are on board just to keep the oxygen systems going. They're purely for life support systems. So yeah, another bit of change is the conveyor piping in some areas is quite exposed. Like, I actually should probably put a conveyor in the floor here, but there's your gravity generator behind some sealed glass. Once again, this area of the ship, it hasn't changed too much. There's your big thrusters on the side, so there's no armor against those thrusters, which I might have to change later on. This area is still planned for some change. This is sort of like, I don't know, another observation deck. It's quite high up on the ship. I mean, I don't think I can actually show you how high up on the ship it is, but it's very near the front. This probably have to be changed. This is also above the hangar bay, so this is where the forward hangar comes out. I might have to like remove some of the plating here and bring up the oxygen from this pipe into the medical bay. I'm also redesigning the medical bays as well. Now this part of the ship is completely new, because beforehand the ship would actually stop right here and there would be a glass pane. So you walk through here and you've got the conveyors bringing out oxygen. You've got the new doors, which are pretty cool, and then you've got the two jump drives. There were 3 on board, but what I've done is remove them, and I've actually cut my way behind these jump drives to show you the main generation of oxygen on the ship, which is located right here. So we have 2 oxygen generators right there and there. They're connected to a small container, I think. There was a small container here, but they're currently piped up via conveyors. The oxygen tanks are behind these set of conveyors right here, so in the back corner there, and that's mirrored on the other side with them piping any spare oxygen straight into the tanks. Another gravity generator. We have a backup generator because it only actually ever uses one at a time, so if that one were to go offline, this one would then kick in, and this just pipes the oxygen all around the ship. And anything excess oxygen goes straight into the oxygen tank, so you have a backup system for pumping some air around. And the conveyors you can see on the floor there actually go down into the massive turrets on the bottom. As I've just realised, they're not actually fully piped up, so I actually have to do that because they are fairly new, those 2 turrets on the bottom. Also, this space here I'm actually going to be redesigning and using it for like a torpedo guidance system that this ship can create its missiles, launch them from further away than initial gun range, because the disadvantage with this ship and its current armament, if I'm going to go outside and show you, is that this ship, as I said, is not designed to go face to face with, say, a bigger ship like maybe your capital ships or battleships. This ship is designed only really to either escort smaller ships or go on a brief scouting mission of its own. This, as I said, this ship is all light armor. It's sort of the same, similar design aspect to the red ship. As you can see, there's quite a lot of resemblance between it and the red ship. But I do aim to change some more of the features on it. I'm not going to create heavy armor because it will lose its speed, which I can actually go show you now. Alright, this is where I was beforehand. Medical bay's in there. There's quite a lot of glass on this, which some people may say is a little counterproductive to being on a warship, but oh, I'm going to depressurize the entire ship. Whoops. Yeah, my mistake. Should actually start repressurizing pretty quickly though. Yeah, we really are doing that. So I'm actually going to go head up to the bridge, and I'm going to give you a little demonstration of the ship's capability. against, well, in speed and its firepower. So I'm going to just run down here. The colour scheme on the ship isn't actually decided yet. I just coloured it blue to make it a little bit easier to see inside. So I'm just going to run all the way up here. Let's go to the bridge. We are actually locked down to the station, I believe. Oh. Great. There we go. And if I just zoom in a bit, that should be disconnected. Yep, it is. So I can then disconnect from the station. Like that. Tell you what, let's start accelerating. I'm using some Sage industrial thrusters for the back, and then everything else is sort of vanilla thrusters. She turns fairly well for a ship weighing 3,000, or 3 million kilograms. The interior blocks weigh quite a substantial amount as well, which don't particularly help with the matter. So I'm just going to turn the ship around, and I'm going to give you a bit of a broadside between the Mjolnir and the blue ship. The acceleration is fairly decent as well, so I'm just going to stop here. I'm also going to get away from the station because the ship will probably end up shooting everything in sight. Alright, to 1,000 meters out, just turn the ship so I can actually see it in the cockpit, and then we'll just accelerate towards her. Turn the guns on, like so. Oh no, I want 5. So I'm going to slow down. I'm going to turn that off because that's just getting annoying. So all I want to do is so let's get those on and those on. There you go. Quite a little noisy ship, this one. It's fairly hard to talk over the ship, so I'm actually going to go and turn off the systems. It is a fairly loud ship, and it's still shooting. Let's just turn all of them off. There we go. So that is the firepower on the Mjolnir. It's got those quad turrets on the front, just in front of the bridge, and it's got another 4 down the side. And then we've got these 2 turrets at the back, which do have sufficient arc to actually go and shoot the target. So I'm just going to get a little bit closer to the blue ship. As you can see, there's quite some damage done to the blue ship. It is on fire again. So for a small fighter approaching the ship could do significant damage to it. As I said, it's only built with light armor. But a larger ship, saying like this, would have quite some trouble getting away, mainly because this ship is very, very, very fast. And it packs one hell of a punch, really. If I just go outside, I can actually show you the damage on it. Just run down these stairs again. I do plan to make some more changes to the ship, but it's taken me a little while to get the ideas going, and then I've got to try and figure out a way to fit it on board without compromising the other areas of the ship. Because I have a very bad habit of just sort of mutilating ships when it comes to installing features, or I don't end up bothering installing a great deal. So I'm going to fly over to the blue ship so I can show you the damage. And it's pretty extensive for that very short amount of time we were shooting at it. We've taken out the tail, 2 small thrusters. We've cut off part of the tail. We've taken out one of the large thrusters. Most of the damage seems to be towards the rear of the ship. I mean, some damage to the front, missile turret. Oh, a lot of damage on this side. Alright, this will be the broadside cannon damage, as you can probably tell. And then up here, this is just mainly the turrets doing that damage. So she's quite a formidable little ship for the size, and there will be a few more modifications here and there before I end up putting this on the Steam Workshop. I know it's not a massively complex ship, it's more of a rework of the red ship, but that's how I tend to build my ships. I tend to modify rather than build from scratch, as I'm not particularly good from building from scratch. So, thank you guys for watching. Sorry for the lack of videos over the last week. I haven't got much footage for videos in general. I've been back into playing some Battlefield 4. I had some footage, but it seemed to have bugged out when I was trying to use Shadowplay to record the footage, so I didn't actually manage to save it, so I apologise for the lack of footage out. Anyway guys, thank you for watching this slightly different video from me. If you want to see more Space Engineers, then please like the video. If not, then just leave a comment saying what other videos you would like me to make, and I will get on that for the next video. So thank you guys for watching, please comment, rate, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.